What's poppin', people? It's Dante walking around the Schuylkill River today. Beautiful day. Love getting the day started here with the nature walk. So yeah, this is my little happy place. Just always puts a smile on my face. And yeah, I'm filming with the GoPro Mini 1080p 30 fps exported to 720p for that crispy HD small file size quality. And yeah, I'll be photographing with the Ricoh GR3. I'm doing high contrast black and white photography. You know, I find actually photography is a drug. Like, I'm so addicted to photography even to this day. Like, so many years of photographing, and I'm still just so interested in making photographs. But maybe I'm mostly just interested in life itself and just throwing myself onto the front lines of life, where, you know, every morning I have this excuse, the camera, to go out there and to explore. And yeah, maybe the ultimate goal with street photography, whatever, is curiosity. I mean, curiosity ultimately is the goal. Just to remain curious, just to remain open, and yeah, have no preconceived notions of what you will find. And honestly, the more that I consider like success and what makes a good or bad photograph, I think actually to just simply detach yourself from the outcome itself and to make pictures simply to make pictures and almost treat it like this personal diary is a really interesting notion that I've been fond of, where, you know, I like to make photographs, come home, import them right away, and just enjoy them. Like, I think I mostly enjoy my new photographs. Like, when I'm making pictures every day, excited to look at them, yeah, I know it's a good day. And that's every day, it seems. And I mean, not every day is a good day, whatever, like generally, and that's life. But in terms of having something that keeps you grounded, like photography, yeah, I think it's just a good thing. Photography is my drug. I mean, maybe everyone has an addiction to something. My addiction is photography and curiosity. You know, we have drugs, alcohol, sugar, movies, TV shows, you know, like binge watching Netflix, whatever. It's kind of interesting, like the TV, Netflix, they just like autoplay, you know, like once the episode's over, just rolls right into the next one. And it's probably really easy to just keep watching them. I mean, every time I've ever watched a Netflix show in the past, like during COVID, I remember I tried Netflix and I would watch Black Mirror and it would just roll into the next one, roll into the next one. Yeah, we're living in the Black Mirror 2024. AirPods Pros, Apple Vision Pros. What do I think about it? I don't know. I tried it. I think the Apple Vision Pro is generally lame. It's pretty much the same thing as the VR headsets, but yeah, you can see real life in front of you. But that's what disturbs me. It's like real life is in front of you. Why put the thing in between you and life? Maybe in the future, instead of traveling, people will just suck into these like devices, because that seemed to be the allure of it. When I tried it out, they would like throw you onto the mountains, throw you into some sort of situation where you're doing something epic, like you know, rock climbing or like hiking. And it's like, maybe it's better to just get the GoPro and just film your POV of doing stuff, and then yeah, just actually do the thing. And I enjoy, and like, why film, like why record your thoughts or your experiences and share your point of view? I don't know. Another thought is maybe the goal of an artist generally is to just share their perspective, their point of view. And maybe the GoPro, the sort of super view POV, you literally put someone in your shoes. Yeah, I like that idea. And it also brings me joy looking back at videos I've made through my travels, right? Where I can return to these experiences if I am curious about it. where like, I don't know, the other day, so for instance, like I'm talking about, you know, addiction, TV, the Black Mirror thing, like I felt like I was in hell yesterday, and all I was doing was I was sitting down in a lobby and there's just a TV playing automatically. It's like, is that just a normal thing like in any lobby these days, where there's just a TV? It's just like the default for anywhere. It's just, there's just always going to be a TV playing, and there's a chair and you're just sitting in front of it, and then you're becoming bombarded by all this information and news and whatever's going on in the world, the weather. Oh, it's, you know, 50 degrees over here, it's going to look like a early spring, and you know, snowfall in this place, and a cop was shot here, you know, there's a house on fire there. And then it's like, whoa, just in like 5 minutes, the sort of peace and tranquility has been disturbed with chaos and insanity. I mean, does it matter? For me, it's like, I feel this urge and need. There's something in me that's like lusting to sort of like return to nature, you know, but also living in a society in the city. Like I love the city, but at the same time, with the constant connectivity of things, whether it's using the internet, the TVs and stuff, naturally I'm just like, get me out of here. This is hell. I love how it's like a newscaster talking about the news, and then like right after it's some sort of drug or supplement or something that you should take this if you have you know, diabetes or some condition, and then at the end it's like, oh, this might cause suicidal tendencies. It's like they say it like really quickly, like, it might cause you know, suicide, and it's like, what the hell? It seems to always be the case too. There's always like that really like quick disclaimer, and it's just like small text at the bottom that you read. So yeah, I think for me it's like culture. Like any culture is maybe foolish to follow at best. It's like culture, cult. Like I think of cult when I think of culture. Whether it's like any religion, faith, belief system, philosophy of life, like maybe it's best to be detached from all these things. The other day I was walking through the park, and this guy was sitting on the bench, and he was like, Jehovah, I found Jehovah. I was like, where's Jehovah? He said, look up at Jehovah. He's like, up. He like pointed up, and I was like, up there? You see him? I don't know, thought that was kind of funny. Yeah, maybe to just trust whatever you see, like whatever's in front of you, right? Like that's why I'm so interested in photography, because it really does keep me in the now, right here in this moment. Whatever's in front of me in the physical flesh is most critical. And I actually find that this notion of like going slow, like just walking slowly and just allowing life to flow towards you, and just being open and just having the camera and being prepared to witness life itself is a good one. You know, just going slow, you know. I like walking in nature specifically. The streets are interesting to me, of course, and photographing people and life, but I think nothing beats the nature walk, the fresh air, the trees, the breeze, the water, the view. Yeah, it's much more beautiful here for me. The mankind things that we've made, you know, like the human things, like the buildings, the architecture. I mean, I still find inspiration in it, like specifically thinking of City Hall, going through those tunnels. You know, it's still striking every day I walk through it. I mean, to see what humans can achieve. The natural beauty to me is honestly much more inspiring, maybe. Just looking at trees barren of leaves. Yeah, I like nature. more.
No. Can't read it. I have a better idea.
Yeah, so maybe with all this technology and stuff, yeah, nothing will beat just being outdoors, you know. I can't sit still. I think you know, I'd never had like that, like ADHD, whatever, but like I think I'm just ultra curious. It's like I can't just sit there and be passive consuming just like anything. And I think like a lot of the shit that we consume, right, whether it's like social media and so, oh, I think I'm not supposed to be walking on this grass. They have this hay here for a reason or something. They're like growing the seed. They put like new grass down or something. But just generally, it's like all of this like stuff is just like garbage, you know. Like when you hear the notion of like content, like consuming content, like yeah, making content, consuming content, it's the equivalent of like just like eating junk food or something. That's what I kind of think about. It's funny. What is the urge to throw sticks into rivers? I don't know, I just feel like I always have to do that when I see one. Yeah. Here I go into the unknown, this dirt path. Where will it lead me? Just to the other side. But that's actually, for me, the most interesting aspect of life is the unknown and just throwing yourself into chaos. Whether it's in the streets or in nature or in a new place where you can't really communicate with language. You know, when there is a language barrier, things become actually really interesting because you become much more primal with the way you act and behave around others. Thinking of dancing, where time spent in Mexico City, unable to communicate, I don't speak Spanish, but you dance with people, you smile, you chant, you sort of go back to this sort of like primal form of communication. You know, I find that to be like it's just an interesting thought generally. Even in the Palestinian city Jericho, and I marched to the top of the mountain dancing and just chanting essentially. I forget what the chant was, but you would just clap your hands and like move your body up and down, sort of like bending your knees, and like without any language but mere music and chanting, and that sort of like primal communication, just pure bliss. It's intriguing to me. Yeah, music. I find music to be interesting in this modern world where with AirPod Pros, sort of just like let the technology seep into your orifices. It's my funny thought about it. But no, for real, like when I used the AirPods Pros for the first time, I was like, this is the craziest piece of technology. I would wear them like 24/7. And I thought it was so amazing how when I was walking around the city, I was like, boop, and then everything disappears, you know, like everything, like all you hear is the music or just canceling it out, and you're just in silence. But there's something to be said about like the music of the street, just like paying attention to your surroundings, listening to the sounds of the cars revving by and the chatter at the market, and you know, the stoplights blinking and the sort of crosswalk guy telling you to please wait, and just sort of interacting with the city as this sort of harmony. It's like a symphony of sounds to just take in. And when I would use the AirPods and just cancel it out, you know, you feel more detached from reality. Actually, there's something about that where it's not where I want to be. Where I want to be here in the now, in reality. And the sounds of nature, I mean, hearing birds chirping in the morning, I mean, these kind of things are so nice. Love it. Yeah, like nature walk, like this is my favorite little spot, you know, like back here where there's just no one, it's just me and I can see the highway across the street. There's some graffiti over there. You know, I love street art, and street performers, when I listen to the music in the halls of City Hall, right? There's this guy, Rome. Every time I see him, I'm like, all roads lead to Rome. And it was before I was going to Rome, and you know, I like chatting with those guys, and he plays the trumpet, and you know, just like listening to his music when I pass through is nice. There's also the guy that plays the flute underground in like the subway area, which is nice and I appreciate. But maybe a lot of music nowadays is kind of distracting. I like listening to music sparingly, actually, more these days, where when I, you know, my appreciation for the Wanamaker organ, you know, I love that we have this free show pretty much every day except for Sunday at 12 and 5:30 at the Wanamaker building. You know, and the more I think about it, I'm like, this is what mankind is capable of. Like these sort of things, like playing an organ and making this incredible piece of architecture, it's like one of mankind's greatest artistic achievements to me. And I just like to appreciate it and sort of take that, and it's like you can listen to it for 45 minutes, but I usually just listen to a song or two and leave during that sort of like lunch rush time period, like at 12, that's when I go. And it's just so nice to listen to some sort of like uplifting music, like the organ playing, and like boosting your vitality and just appreciating music during that period of time, rather than always listening to music. It's like if there's ever a lull and there's ever a silence, God forbid, you know, just put the AirPods in, just start, you know, jamming out. Life is a movie. But actually, you know, trying my, or just, you know, not always listening to music and choosing that sort of period out of the day to listen to it has been, I think, wise for me. It kind of like resensitized me or something. Like, I don't know what the word is, but like I feel better, honestly. Also, just observing detail, like the moss growing on the side here. It's just so fascinating. Like, I remember being a kid and you would just play with rocks and sticks and stuff, and I still find myself with that sort of like childlike curiosity about things, which I think is just good. I think that we're not good, but it's just, maybe it's, yeah, it's, I find it to be a good thing to just always stay curious, playful. Like, I remember you would take the rocks and like smash them, and then there'd be all sorts of like crystals and stuff inside. Thought that was pretty cool. When I was a kid, you would like collect rocks and stuff, put them in like a specific place in the backyard or somewhere in the forest where you would just return to, and it was like your little stash or like your little collection of stuff. Like skipping stones into the river, finding the smooth stone. Sort of like natural ways of playing. I would make lots of teepees and forts where I would, like in the Wissahickon where the Native American tribes lived, I would literally like make teepees and forts out of sticks and stuff and pretend like I was a Native American as a kid. Such a fun place to explore, and I really hope, actually, once the you know, it seems like spring's coming sooner than later, but yeah, I hope to go hiking around that sort of Wissahickon forest that we have so close by here in the city. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to the better weather, change of seasons. I've never actually been down there, but this looks like a path you could take to lead yourself down somewhere cool. Looks like there's something down there. It's interesting. New location unlocked. And in terms of like photography and like making photos and like finding inspiration, motivation, whatever, I mean, realistically, I think inspiration I find everywhere. It's like I find inspiration in nature, in architecture, on these walks, you know, going to this museum here and just like looking out at a nice view from an elevated space and just simply like moving my body, where like humans were bipedal for a reason. We have 2 legs to move. I feel like to be outside is where humans thrive, and anytime I'm inside, it feels as though my soul, it will just slowly die. So in terms of inspiration for photography, maybe it's best to not even seek it through books and photography itself, or even paintings and sculptures and things. But I mean, you know, I think whatever's outside, like whatever's outside generally. So like there are sculptures and stuff in the city hall and the architecture inside these buildings that I find intriguing, but not like not like actually going into the museum, if that makes sense. Like I don't need to go into the museum for inspiration, but like just find everything just on walks, you know, like even within the graffiti and the sort of street art and, you know, stuff like this. But yeah, I think inspiration is kind of just all around you. Just like look up at the clouds and listen to the birds. Morning.
Morning.
And yeah, inspiration, you know, it's like, I think instead of like looking at other people's work too, like maybe it's better to just look at your own photographs. Look at, like, while I do like to look at my newer photographs more, you know, waiting for the end of the day, and then you get home, you look at the photos. I do carry a sketchbook with me just as a way to study. And yeah, I think there's something to be said about keeping a sketchbook on you, and yeah, just flipping through photos. I found this to be a good way to stay inspired and sort of learn from my photos. I also have this little sketchbook. This is the first one I made, and I think there's some joy in just having something small and pocketable like this that you can use and reference. So yeah, if you have a collection of photographs, I suggest making one. I use the Canon CP Selfie 1500 printer, and I just print on a 4x6 page, like I don't know how many photos fit on it, I forget, but just like as many that can fit on a little 4x6. I just cut them out and glue them in to these little sketchbooks from Muji, and yeah, it works for me. I mean, it's simple and DIY. Yeah, there's something about the tangibility of holding like a little sketchbook on you and just always carrying it with you. And you know, instead of like these social medias and stuff, like, oh, you know, if you meet a photographer and like, oh, what's your IG, bro? It's like, what's that? Just show them your sketchbook. I think, you know, I think that's much more engaging and interesting and whatever. It's just like, here, look, you know, it's more considered way of sharing work, I think. And yeah, just some random thoughts today. Almost at the place that I like to go and view the river, the Schuylkill. I believe Schuylkill means river, so it's river. Welcome to the river, the river trail. Oh, and always smile for the camera. Always stick your tongue out. You know, like, so you stick your tongue out at the security cameras. Maybe one day we'll be able to hack into them, and I could do like an AI image search of my face, using like the security camera database, and take all the screenshots of me sticking my tongue out, and I can make that into something. So yeah, go slow, let life flow towards you, and yeah, maybe just forget everything you think you know, disconnecting from the culture, creating your own or something. I don't know. Like, disconnect, forget everything you think you know, sort of just follow your intuition, go slow with the flow, and just trust physical flesh. Like, whatever is in front of you at the front lines of life. Snapshot. Snapshot City. Snapshot your way through life. Paths and pavilions. When will this open? Who knows? Here we go. Check it out. Beautiful rock formations, trees, fresh air. Honestly, it's warm today. Like, I'm feeling hot. I'm feeling hot in this coat, you know? Like, I'm about to go take a layer off or something. Such a beautiful view up here. Just really grateful for nature, for Philadelphia's beauty, the great architecture, the trees. Yeah, this is my little paradise in Philadelphia. This section of the city behind the museum here. Yeah, this is my favorite place. Create your own Rocky movie. Da 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 da. We the new Dutch masters. We the new Amish. We the new Amish. Just go slow and appreciate the detail all around you.